and welcome to another budget and leggit video.
Right, let's have a look underneath me new recovery lorry. I have noticed some bits. Well, this is the first time I had it on the lift. I haven't looked underneath it yet, but I did notice some bits when I was looking around it. I am going to have to just paint the back bed here, just these three panels here. Not a big deal. And there is something on the far side I didn't notice until yesterday. I didn't notice when I was looking at it, so I'll quickly show you that first. Do it this way so we can't see underneath. This one here, you can see it's just rusty, but it's quite loose. It vibrates a lot, it moves up and down, and it's bolted there. But I lifted the bed off and I didn't see it until today. I didn't see it when I was looking at it. It's no big deal. Even though this bar is bolted down, the weld at the top is just cracked. So really isn't a big deal. And then just painting these three bars basically. Again, you only really notice it when you get really close. It's not bad. So let's have a look underneath it. One thing I did notice when I was looking at it is, I noticed this bar here, slightly bent, no big deal. I can just chop that off, put another piece in. Really isn't a big deal. You can just see it there, look, it's kind of bent. The only one thing I do want to do is I want to put a tow bar on this. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. I'm going to have to make another frame inside here to make it nice and strong and put a tow bar on here. So yeah, there is that. I mean, I can leave that, it really isn't causing any issues. So, we'll look underneath. Now also what I noticed is we do need brakes all around. I noticed that when we was doing it, when I was looking at it. And yeah, pads are basically, it's going to be metal on metal soon, but I knew the discs were bad, so I didn't. Again, oh, it's kind of metal on there, look. I'm not bothered about that because I knew that before I was buying it. And again, I knew I needed tyres, you know. It is what it is. Really happy about this. This is specially upgraded suspension on this because I was going to put airbags on it, but it's all been upgraded. This is not factory whatsoever. Even with a lot bigger vehicles than this can technically carry, it doesn't cause any issues. The guys told me it doesn't. It's not sagging on the ground. It's just absolutely perfect. So we don't need anything. No rust on the chassis. Which is really good. Again, Transit's bodies rust like crazy, but the chassis aren't too bad really. And there's no body to kind of make this chassis bad, if you know what I mean. There's no body catching crap. We've got a sports exhaust, look at that bad boy. So that's all good. We're all good underneath here. What else? Exhaust is okay. All the prop shaft is okay. Now, I didn't notice that, but there was no drips on the floor, but with a slight little leak coming from somewhere on the gearbox. It looks like, maybe, don't know, it looks like it's coming a bit higher. Anyway, we can check that out. There's no drips on the floor, but it's obviously slightly weeping, so it's just something to keep an eye on. Again, I saw that the pads and discs at the front were bad as well, so I'm not bothered about that. Everything else looks good. I mean, it drives lovely and all, which is obviously most important. It has all been done, you know, all the chains and everything have been done, new turbos, there's a lot been done to it, and you can see there has been work done to it. Oh, we have a slight water leak. Okay. That has been, looks like someone's repaired it. Again, there's no drips on the floor this morning, but so again, I didn't notice that, but not a big deal. I'm not bothered about that. I just got dripped on. Did that just drip on me? I just got dripped on as I went underneath. Anyway, this is the PTO. And yeah, we got a little leak there, but again, it's not really dripping. I mean, it's not. Oh, where'd that come from? Do we have a leak? I think we have a slight little water leak, so I'll have to keep an eye on. Oh, we do, look. The back of the water pump, you can just see it there. So the back of the water pump's leaking. Again, it's just something to be aware of. So we've got a couple of little water leaks. It's dripping on here, coming down here. But again, I didn't see anything on the floor. That's not it, that's other leaks. But so we've got two little water leaks. Got a little, that's actually a little bit worse than I maybe thought. That's dripping quite regularly every 10 seconds or so. An oil leak here. And actually that's kind of it. So we just got a couple of little water leaks. We got a couple of pads and discs and tyres. So really overall we're looking good. That could be a bit of a pig of a job, to be honest. It looks a bit awkward, doesn't it? I thought I'd have to get a new back of the pump there, just get that new thing all together, because it looks kind of like it's just going to cause me issues, so I'll just replace that completely. No point fucking around. This is a work vehicle, this can't break down, so I'll just, anything I'm even unsure of, I just replace it. My own vehicle, all genuine parts. I'm not even, you can see that actually, look, the turbo is now, that's good. I'm not even gonna, you know, just replace everything. Genuine parts, end of story, bish bash bosh. And then I'm good to go. So yeah, overall, bloody pleased. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna service it. Just my own peace of mind, service it, and then we will be we'll be good to go. Right, hopefully you can hear me over this. The wrong filter was fitted. It's a bit lower. Not that that really makes a big difference, but I am surprised just how bad this filter is. It looks like it's been in there for a while to be that kind of colour, especially with this coming from a garage. Normally, you know, because you kind of do it yourself, you would be I have never, in any vehicle I've ever owned, my filters have never ever been this bad. When I take my filters out, most people would keep them because they think they're good. But anyway, not a big deal. We're replacing it, but it just kind of hasn't been serviced in a while, I would say. But I would always be servicing it regardless. But yeah, doesn't look like it's been serviced in a while. The noise is because the air filter is up. That's why it's a lot noise. That noise is there. You can kind of see the dust is flying off this thing. Another thing, we've got service oil now. We've also got a little light, and when I turn it on sometimes, even when I did it initially, it said engine malfunction. Now I bought my scan tool. Well, actually I didn't bring my scan tool with me, I bloody forgot it, but I got one off the guy that I was buying it off. And when I initially started it in the morning, when it was cold, even from him, I felt it hunting slightly, and I knew it was an injector, even though these injectors have been done supposedly a couple of years ago. But anyway, and it came up #1 injector. So again, I know #1 injector is a bit dodgy, but I'm not worried about it. I know about it, and I knew before I bought it. But I'm just going to see if this is a service light, even though sometimes there's a spanner this side. I'm just going to see if it is an engine service, or if it's just to basically say, look, you need to sort it out. Now what you do, switch the ignition on, press and hold the brake and the throttle pedal all the way down for about 10-15 seconds. You do have to be careful. Some of the newer models with the PCM, you have to switch off the ignition for 2 minutes. There we go, it's reset. So now we'll let this off. But now what you have to do is switch off and leave the ignition for 2 minutes, at least 2 minutes, for the PCM to reset itself. If you try and turn it on too quickly, what's going to happen is it's just not going to be able to save it to its memory. If you are unsure, because some of the transits do, some of the transits don't. If you are unsure, just leave it for 2 or 3 minutes. It's simple, you know, no biggie. And then turn it back on, and then you're going to be good to go. Right, turn the ignition back on. And there we go, there's the engine malfunction, which again, I'm not bothered about. But have we got the... No. So that is going to be because of the injector. But what I might do is I might actually, thinking about it now, I don't think I'm going to do the oil. Oh, fuck it, I will do the oil. I was going to say I won't do the oil until I do the injector, but the oil's quite bad, so I'm just going to do the oil. And when I put the new injector in, I'm just going to do the oil again, because if the injector is bad, especially if it's leaking too much, I don't think it's leaking too much, but that can affect the oil as well. So it was worth a try. I thought it might be more to do with the injector than the service light, but anyway, it's not really a problem. Right, when I was looking at this oil, and it did seem a bit of steam coming off, or smoke coming off it, so it does look bad. It does, yeah, it is thin. Wow, that is thin. So this is where we're replacing it. It doesn't really come across on camera, but believe me, it's thin.
I got my first job in the recovery, but it's not a car. I've 2 pallets on the back. Can you guess what I'm picking up? Comment down below. I'm in the old recovery lolly, and we need to get a name for it. So put your comments down below what we should call it. I'm doing all these videos in weird things, like I haven't even filming this properly, but you're going to see me walking around it properly before you see this film. But anyway, I have 2 big pallets on the back, which I'll show you in a minute. We're going to collect something. It's actually going to be harder than a car, I think, to collect what we're going to collect. A car, you just put it on, put the straps on, it's not going to really move as such. This stuff might move. That's why I got the pallets. Without the pallets, I wouldn't be able to pick this stuff up. So we're going to see if it works. I have to obviously make sure it's safe. If it's not safe, I can't do it. But it's my first job in the old lolly. We need to get it sorted, which we will do, and we're going to see what it's like. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to getting more recovery work and trying to make this thing pay for itself, because it's cost me a fortune. Borrowed money because I had to. Simple as that. And with the price of things the way they are at the minute, bloody expensive, price of fuel. Maybe I'm getting into this at the wrong time, but hey, if you don't try, you never know. Worst case scenario, I can sell this. If it doesn't work, should get most of my money back, if not all of it. So hey, no harm, no foul. But yeah, so let me get to that. Now it started raining. So let me get to this job, and we'll see what we can do. Right, look, these are the big, huge pallets we've got. 2, and yeah, what do you think we're picking up? Right, my first ever load, can you believe it, in my recovery lorry. Yes, it's some metal. It's actually for the video we are doing. I don't know which is going to come out first, but basically we are converting Arctic refrigeration unit into a spray booth, and this is the outside fan cowl we need. This is the mesh for the filters, and this steel here is what we're going to put the door on. So we got to get this on me lorry and all strapped down. That's going to be a bit of a nightmare. Yeah, this is why I was saying it's going to be harder than a car, because a car you can strap down. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Right, I've got it all on. This is lipped underneath here, so it can't lift up, and this is pushed in against there. It's going to scratch the black plastic vents, but it is what it is. This is all tied down tight. It's not going to go anywhere, so this should be fine. I didn't have enough eyes, so I actually hooked it onto here, and it's, believe me, it's tight. So if you think about it, this is how a car works. It bends the rope like that and it hooks onto the car, so if it's good enough to hold a car, it's certainly good enough to hold this bit of steel down. Wish me luck. Right, we are back. No damage done. Everything is still tight, which is good. This strap really helped, and yes,
How many people noticed I didn't put the strap properly this side? I know I didn't, because I pulled it that way. Supposed to put the strap down, but I knew it was going to be fine. I really wasn't going far. And look, nothing moved. Don't think I did any damage to my body, which is obviously good. The metal got here, and we can finish building the spray booth because of this metal. Sorted. Right, I am recording this in a different place, but there is something I'm going to leave with this. See if you spotted it in the video, but there is something with this that I personally think is absolutely seriously dangerous and just terrible and really, really dangerous. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. So in the next video, I'm going to show you what I think is really dangerous with it, and I'm going to show you my fix to it. So stay tuned for that. But at the minute, I wouldn't feel safe putting a car on this, even a little car. I just wouldn't feel safe. So we're going to rectify that in the next video.